Everyone, this is Josh with Without a Trail. Today on this one we are going to go further into the Colorado by installing these sleeves here. So all these sleeves do is on the inner tie rod, which obviously we've already got it taken apart kind of to get here, but all these sleeves do is go over the inner tie rod, basically beefing it up. Just makes it so much realistically nicer, but it's more realistically to keep this section here from bending real bad or even bending off the threads and breaking. It also has a pretty nice adjustment. A lot of people like to count the threads, but I'm just going to basically hold it up, mark it by eye. So like right here roughly, I'll get an actual chalk marker or something like that and mark it, but basically just goes over, slaps in place of the nut, and then you're pretty much done. So we'll get that all undone and show you the process. So you basically just take this nut off. It is, I think, a 21. Think I'd figure that out. It is this size. Yeah, 21 I believe. So you basically take 21, just break this loose. You don't need to take it off all the way. And then you'll take this off. So we'll go ahead and get into it. Take this off, we'll loosen this, and then we'll get back to you. Alright, so we're here, we got the outer tie rod off. Here's the nut. Now obviously I used a piece of white chalk, which you can barely see, but white chalk there. Or you could just go by probably the way most of our trucks are, and where the rust starts is where you would stop. So yeah, so we just basically take this off eventually. Grab our sleeve. One side is actually kind of lubed up already, and it just goes over that, and you just thread it on till you get to your, in my case, with the chalk mark. Let me get the flashlight so I can see for sure. And then I made 3 marks on accident, but we double measured, and basically the middle mark is where I want it. So right there, I'm just gonna unscrew everything, or screw everything back on, if it'll cooperate here. There we go, got it started. And then we just want to butt up against it. We don't want to try to turn anything. That way we're not going to be way out of alignment. It's still going to need a little bit of alignment, a small adjustment, but this will at least get you close. That's all we need. Smack that back in. All that has to be a little scared is this came off really easy, so I feel like it's going to try to spin, and I can't see it that well to know if it's going to try to come off, so I'm going to try to hold it up while I do it. Alright, so it is tightening. Alright, so it actually tightened up pretty easy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, if it's the right size, because I don't know what this new size is anymore. It is not the right size. So we're going to go get the right size, and then we're just going to snug it down on the outer tie rod. But overall, it does beefing it up quite a bit. Obviously it's not super solid, but like any bending it does, it's going to butt up against that and stop. You could probably actually adjust it out before it gets any worse. So this is just a good little, insurance policy is about the best way to put it. That way you're not going to bend and break on the trail. Yeah, I think we're good there. So we're going to tighten it up, and then we're going to get everything buttoned up, and that's it on this one. All right, so that's all it takes really to do the reinforcement sleeve. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the other side. It's pretty simple. Just jack it up, take the tire off, undo the outer tie rod, knock it out, break everything loose before you knock out the outer tie rod. Put this in place of that nut before you make a mark, before you take the nut off, and then put everything back down. It's pretty simple, but that's it for this one. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more.